Hey everybody, welcome again to another episode of Just for Fun Games. I'm your host Azzy, and with me is my boy Roy, and today we're going to be talking about the Hawkeye series. So rather than watching each episode and reviewing them like we normally do, this is one of the series I felt like almost as if with all of them really up until this point, it felt like a 6 hour long movie. So we waited until the very end to give our overall thoughts. Oh, is it about a 4 hour movie? I
Yeah, I
can't
would
remember the
say
run times of each
it was
episode.
like 40 minutes per episode, and then the last episode being an hour.
So, as per usual, if you haven't seen our stuff before, neither Roy nor myself have any ability to really convey how we feel unless we get into every bit of the nitty gritty. So, if you haven't seen the Hawkeye series, please, by all means, go watch it, then come back, see what the hell we have to talk about. This has been your spoiler warning. Anyway, so I went into this series assuming that I wasn't going to enjoy Haley Stanford's Kate Bishop, just because I hadn't seen her in much. I never got the opportunity to watch the what was it, the Transformers movie with her in it, and I had only ever seen her in one movie, and she was kind of annoying in that movie. So I was like, not sure how this is gonna go, but damn it, she didn't win me over almost immediately. It's like she's that right level of endearing and badass that really grabbed me. And any moment with her and Florence Pugh, I fucking love.
Oh, okay, Bishop, you're funny. You're very funny. Oh, come on, eat some good macaroni and cheese.
No, you know what this whole series like echoed for me? It's like, damn, maybe I just love a Christmas in New York story because I had to go and watch Home Alone 2 after this series.
Shut up.
But it has that same feel to it.
But let me get my little brief summary of this series. This was a series I didn't care for. But at the end of the day, I think I like this better than Loki, to be honest with you.
Ooh.
Yes, I did say it. I like this a whole lot better than Loki. Yeah, the ending might have been kind of a couple things where like I was kind of like, why would you do that? But I like, Kate Bishop. I like Hawkeye. These were like characters I didn't give a crap about because the Avengers game throwing all those characters out at one time. I'm like, I don't care for these people, and then actually see them represented in the MCU in a proper set. Now, granted, like there's not a whole bunch of superpower heroes and villains in this. Whereas, you saw Captain America or Captain Falcon, goddamn, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that series, that did nothing for me. I did not enjoy that series. That, to me, that was the weakest out of all this TV series. But
I wouldn't say it did nothing. I wouldn't say it did nothing for me, but I would agree that if we were to rank these Disney Plus series, it would be at the bottom. Not that I didn't love it. I still very much enjoyed it, even though the message at the end was a little bit muddy and they mishandled their villain. I still really enjoyed that series. But yeah, it's definitely on the bottom. But I'm mostly happy that this series did a lot of the heavy lifting to hopefully get people to stop shitting on not only Jeremy Renner but also Hawkeye in general, because you had a lot of people, and in the early MCU, it was that kind of that running gag that they knew existed, where it's like in Age of Ultron, it's like we got robots and we're on a flying island, and I'm a guy with a bow. Not to mention all the times that people got upset that Hawkeye wasn't killed off and another character that the audience at that point in time found more interesting died instead. This show needed to make people like Hawkeye.
I mean,
like, there wasn't enough of a fandom.
I mean, I like Hawkeye, but if this was an actual movie, I would have been kind of like, I'm not feeling the movie. But they did it right. They made it a TV series where it'd be like, hey, if you really want to invest in this character, there's a TV series out there for you might want to check out. And it paid off. Because, like I said, everybody in this show I actually liked. There was not a character I was like, yo, I do not like this character.
Even the or the wannabe stepdad,
Yeah.
even the wannabe stepdad, who I feel like literally just existed for us all to assume the worst of him. His character name is Jack. He's played by a Mr. Tony Dalton, and he spent the entire movie with that, just like the mustache and that smirk that just made me go like, he's doing some fucked up shit. He's doing some shady shit. He's gonna be he's the fucking bad guy. Fandom owes him a freaking apology.
But the one for me, the one that stole this show for me was Alaqua Cox. She, like, I didn't know, like, when they first showed her, like, reveal in the show, I was like, who the hell is this? I don't know who this character is. Do I gotta wait to talk to John about this character? Do I have to go do some research on this character? I was like, you know what? Since we're gonna wait until the final episode to do the review for this series, let me just play it out and watch it. About having no history of this character in the Marvel comics. And goddamn, it paid off because one, plus for being a Native American actress. So that's what you had me bid on that. I was like, oh snap. Because I'm thinking the whole time, her being deaf and all that I thought that was just part of the acting. No, she really is. And she does have
she's deaf, she's a paraplegic, she's Native, and not all. If I remember correctly, the actual character that she's based off of isn't all of those things. But still, it was cool to see because they adapted it and very much incorporated it part of the character, and I enjoyed that. She's effectively another version of oh my god, I'm fucking forgetting his name. The dude with the skull mask that can mimic people's movements.
Taskmaster.
That's it. Damn.
Oh,
put me on the spot. And all names.
Character being Echo. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. After I watched it, I was like,
this is what the MCU does. It takes a niche character that a lot of people wouldn't really know if they hadn't been reading the comics and blows them up to becoming this new big thing. Right now in the comics, last I heard, Echo has become like a host of the Phoenix Force of this whole tournament and shit. But otherwise, I don't really know shit about her either. So it was really great to see them bring her in so that she could be like a. Not to mention how she destroys Clint's hearing aid and then like attacks him on the notion that he's essentially crippling himself by using the hearing aid when like her he get adapted to her to his strength.
Yeah, which brings more realism to Clint's character anyway, because it's like
oh yeah, because he's in the comics. He has severe tinnitus from all the conflicts he's been in. So I know a lot of people actually really liked that little tidbit that he has to use the hearing aid. They even had Lucky the freaking dog in there, man.
Which it wasn't revealed to be Lucky until the final episode, which I was like,
yeah.
Like episode 5, they teased it with the firefighter guy. He was like, "Hey man, I think I got a cool name for your dog," and then it got cut off right there. I was like, "Oh, okay." But yeah,
the show was not a. You're bringing up the firefighter guy. He's a member of the LARPing troop that Clint had to engage with in order to get the Ronin costume, which was the crux of the series, back from. Essentially, like the Ronin suit was going up for auction. The auction got stormed by these thugs, and Kate happened to be there and donned the Ronin costume in order to fight them off. But sadly, that made it seem like Ronin had reappeared, and that brought enemies. So I love how the series wasn't afraid to be fun and goofy, like to that break in levity where like Clint's actually enjoying the LARPing that he's being forced to do just so he can get his suit back. But there was one moment where I have to agree with the populace where it's like they went a little bit too far. It wasn't necessary. They reincorporated LARPers and they had this like suit up moment when they're trying.
Yeah, that was probably the only scene I was like, no, this doesn't work.
It was unnecessary.
If I'm running from a building like that and I see people like down there, I'm like, is he here to fuck me up or what? You know, I'm not here.
the world you're in right now, that might be like screaming fire, and it's like you have like Asgard being taught in high schools at this point. It's like you see some people in the freaking armor. What's your first instinct? Like, fuck.
Either these are Asgardians or this Doctor Strange sorcerer kind of people or something. What is going on outside this building?
It's like, you gotta expect that New Yorkers are gun shy like severely at this point. But no, I thought Kate and Clint's relationship, it was given the opportunity to grow naturally as opposed to something that had to be like quickly rushed if this was just a movie. And it had the predictable "you're not my partner" kind of moment before like the acquiescence to their relationship. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I still really freaking enjoyed it. But what do you think about like the antagonists or like the throwaway villains, the jumpsuit gang?
They were alright. They were alright. I mean,
like the tracksuits.
But
this is a weird like shtick to like.
Yeah, I mean, their conversations were funny.
Yeah, I did love like Kate giving the one guy relationship advice and that coming back around later.
Like he wanted to see Imagine Dragons. He was like, so don't. She's like, so don't see Imagine Dragons. She's like, but I love Imagine Dragons.
I did the thing you said. I did the thing you said.
It's like we went to Maroon 5 instead.
And then finally looping back from the end credit scene in Black Widow where Yelena was being hired to take down Clint and then her injection to the series, every moment Florence Pugh was on screen was fucking magic. Like catching the hot sauce bottle. Hi. She needs a movie, or just put her in everything. I need her sass. Like seriously, her nonchalant badass.
The best part is when she was at the party and Kate's following her, and then they get on the elevator and Kate just slaps her in the face. What was that?
What is that? No, that had the same energy as oh shit. What was that? Like I'm thinking, it made me think of another scene from another movie, if I can think right now,
her character was great. That was the one thing I wasn't really expecting her to be in this, but having her in it, I was like, okay, right off of Black Widow coming right into the Hawkeye series, okay, we can roll with this, see how far it goes, and then. The relationship with her and Kate, that was interesting because Kate's like, hey, you just tried to kill my partner and everything. And it's
no. Someone else has said that they really got the impression when they were watching it that she was serious 100% of the time with Kate. Like when Kate was trying to convince her to go with her to see the sights in New York because Yelena had never been in New York and she wanted to see Rockefeller Center and all those other things, teasing the final episode even at that. And she was like, yeah, that'd be great after I kill Barton. And it's like, it's that nonchalantness to it. It's like, you feel that she actually really wants to go and hang out with Kate, but there's still the having to kill Clint Barton sort of thing. And not to mention, once again, the blip becomes center stage as we see yet another character who lost 5 years, where she had the opportunity to be, where she was coming to the end of her self-imposed mission. And she was going to have that opportunity to finally get the time that she wanted to spend with Natasha, and it's just robbed from her. Not to mention like the transition where she's looking in the mirror, she blips and she comes back, and then just like the wallpaper starts shifting.
What they did is like they made it like instantaneous. It's like she went into the bathroom, put the water on her face, she blipped right there, but at the same time came back, and then she's seeing everything around her change. Like, what the hell? Like,
for her, it would be instantaneous. For everyone else, it was effectively instantaneous. And you have to think of like the mind fuck of that. And then to come into this new world, not only finding out that her sister died, but she died in a mission that involved Clint, and he came back alive. So, like,
which, by the way,
believable. Obviously, she wasn't going to kill him now.
Yeah. By the way, the one scene that actually broke me and had me teary-eyed is the scene where Clint goes to the monument in New York where the Avengers first assemble, and he takes out his little earpiece, and then he's talking like trying to talk to Black Widow, Natasha and everything. And then the music, the background, if I don't know if you noticed, was the same music when she fell off the cliff. It was just a arranged version. I was like, they bringing back the feels. But yeah, talk about the other big reveal for this series, the big guy, Kingpin.
But real quick, I just want to reiterate, because we found out now that Yelena had blipped, it recontextualizes Natasha's desperation to make sure to undo it. That she was willing to sacrifice herself, not only to bring back her friends amongst the Avengers and like the superhero community, but also to bring back her sister that she had to spend 5 years knowing was gone because they had failed. It recontextualized that entire thing and makes it that much more tragic if I go back and watch Endgame now. But yeah, oh my god, I don't want to fuck up on his name. Oh, help me out before I fuck it up.
Vincent
D'Onofrio? Is
yeah,
that it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
which I find funny because, man, I watched Daredevil, yeah, but they made this man like a damn tank in this series.
Well, that's the thing. That's comics accurate though. But while he might not be the ridiculous, inhumane proportions that the Kingpin's supposed to be, that man's supposed to just shrug off shit. Not to mention, you got to remember though that in Daredevil, which let's just entertain is canon. Let's just entertain that Daredevil and everything that happened in that series is canon. He gets his suits tailor-made to stop bullets. So he is wearing, if you see him in a suit, whether it's Hawaiian shirt or not, just expect that his tailoring is done John Wick style, and it's effectively just armor.
Yeah, because so he took so much shit. He took an arrow to the chest. He took an explosion to it. He took a hit to the car.
Oh yeah. The car hit. Yeah, I was actually like, I was shocked. I was shocked to see the mom do some shit, but I fucking loved it. I ate it up. And I loved everything that involved him because Vincent D'Onofrio does such a good fucking job.
I want you to think about your decision.
Because he brings rather than being like a stereotypical mob boss, he always brings that soft power kind of interpretation of the Kingpin. Because he's not the guy to immediately go into a rampant rage. You can see him kind of like boiling on at first and controlling himself, composing himself, and then he'll tear you to shreds. But I will admit there were people who kind of went there. It was like, didn't he like? I'm justifying how many hits he took, but the man kind of had like monster strength too. Like, granted, he's huge, Kate's small,
ripping off a door and shit.
He was dude was like launching her. And I enjoyed the fact that it was Kate who had to fight him instead of Clint. That wasn't because it shouldn't have been Clint's fight, because this whole story was around Kate and her trying to effectively figure out this mystery and solving this mystery that involves her family. And that was the end boss for that. So and he's not dead. Come on.
Oh yeah. But I say because that's what pissed me off a little bit. I was like, okay, my shoots Kingpin square in the head, but it's off screen. You don't see it, so just assume he's alive. He's alive. So
the question is what state is Maya in, because you don't shoot at the Kingpin and then just walk away.
I hope she comes back. I really loved her.
Yeah. I hope she comes back. The kicker though is that now we got no excuses not to go back and fix Miss Marvel's powers, because like that rumor about it's like, oh, we can't have two stretchy superheroes. It's like, well, now you have two heroes, Taskmaster and Echo, that effectively have the same abilities. So come on now, no excuses. But all in all, like, did you feel like in the sixth episode, in the final episode, do you feel like that it wrapped everything up quickly, or were you okay with the pacing?
I was okay with the pacing. It's just it made me want more. Like it wrapped up too. It was like the series, like you expect something at the end of it, like something loose end. There were no loose ends. Everything came to a close.
Well, you know what? I actually think that was there was a benefit to that, because this was kind of like the year ender, and this allows us the freedom to just like let things lull, let things rest where they are, rather than leaving us on some kind of cliffhanger. But at that point, for those of I'm assuming everyone who's watching this far has already watched the entire series, so of course you're trained, just like the rest of us, to wait through the credits. And I tell you what, I waited through that entire musical number waiting for the fucking joke, and it never came. Like a pan out to the crowd to like a disgusted like Yelena and Clint or something. Nothing. It was just the whole musical number. And if you like musicals, more power to you.
Yeah, okay, because I liked it, but at the same time, I was probably like most people, like, all right, who's in the audience that we're gonna go pan over to? Like, this really happened?
So where's the punchline? It was all set up, but I was waiting for a freaking joke that never came. I was a bit disappointed. It was like, you made me suffer through that. You April Fools me earlier than April's. That's some bullshit. It's like that hadn't happened since like Spider-Man: Homecoming with Steve Rogers. It's like, son of a bitch. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and break it down. Like, what would you give the Hawkeye series overall? Like, what would be your score?
I don't like doing 0.5s, but I'm gonna have to give it an 8.5.
8.5? I give it a 9. I don't really feel like there were so few things that didn't mesh all that well. It felt like the whole thing felt like an event, almost like I wanted it to be like a Law and Order as like dun dun, and then it was like the next day, like, because like inching towards Christmas. It felt like the series was on a timer, and that made the story feel accelerated to a positive element. But yeah, no.
But like I said, for me personally, I like this more than Loki, because I went back and watched these episodes more than once, every single one, especially episode.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
Episode 5, especially the last episode 5. I watched that so many times. I was like, I can't wait for the next episode.
You know what? That needs to be the subject of another podcast. Let's do a podcast where we rank the Disney Plus shows and discuss our rankings then. But we're going to do that then. This is the Hawkeye review. So, what did you think about the series? Go ahead, drop your comment down below. Hit the like button. Subscribe. How excited were you when you finally saw? How excited were you when you saw Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin making his return?
I really want to know your decisions down in the comments.
All right. So anyway, we will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.
Deuces.
You kill me again. Oh, Kate Bishop, you are so funny. That's hilarious. That one is the funniest.